guys, Claire here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. Duchess Meghan has shared her upcoming podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, with Lemonada Media. Meghan says, "I've been having candid conversations with amazing women who've turned dreams into realities and scaled small ideas into massively successful businesses. They're opening up, sharing their tips, tricks, and tumbles, and letting me pick their brains as I build out my own business. It's been absolutely eye-opening, inspiring, and fun. Because what's the point if you can't have some fun in this wild adventure?" The first episode will be released on April 8th. I love the part where she talks about tips, tricks, and tumbles, because everything comes with some setbacks, but the whole point is you got to keep moving forward. Never forget that Meghan's first podcast won People's Choice Award and a Gracie Award, so I know we're in for a real treat with this one.
I know Meghan Markle haters hate to see Meghan come in. This just in, and excuse me, Meghan Sussex has just announced that she's going to be dropping a podcast. So of course I'm going to tell you everything you need to know and who I think Meghan might have as potential guests on this podcast. As we can see by the title, it's going to be called Confessions of a Female Founder, and it's going to be done under Lemonada Media. Now, if you're wondering what is this podcast going to be about, well, according to her caption, it's going to be candid conversations with amazing women who have turned dreams into realities. In some, she's going to be speaking to female founders. Now, the podcast is set to come out on April 8th, but in terms of who's going to be on it, we don't know yet. As a fan of With Love Meghan, I don't know if y'all remember, but Vicky Tsai was actually in episode 7, and she is the founder of Tatcha, so she might be a possible guest on. There's also a possibility to have Serena Williams as a guest, as we know that they are not only besties, but also that Serena has her very own cosmetics brand, Win Beauty. Now, this next one could be a bit of a stretch, but another potential guest could be Jessica Alba. According to various online sources, both Jessica and Meghan were actually seen together celebrating Kerry Washington's birthday on January 31st. Some of these sources are even claiming that the two are friends. I can't say that for sure, but what I do know is that Jessica Alba was the founder of The Honest Company. She since stepped down, but still could be a great potential guest. Really excited to see Meghan's continuation of unfolding all these different business ventures. Even more excited to see her step on these haters' necks.
Indeed. This article from Inquirer is particularly enjoyable. It's titled, "Meghan's New Netflix Show is an Antidote for Today's Harsh Political Reality." It goes on to say, Meghan's critics are still mad because she got handed the keys to the royal castle and said, no thanks. Now she has a new Netflix show and is living her best life. Ain't that the truth? Another one of my favorite articles, this one is from Feminegra, and it goes on to say, "From the moment With Love premiered, critics lined up to tear it down. Media outlets called it pointless. Online trolls mocked Meghan's presence. YouTube channels that thrive on anti-Meghan content launched attack videos, hoping to convince their audience that the show was a failure before they even watched it. But their efforts backfired. The show shot into Netflix's global top 10, proving that audiences were not just watching, but returning for more. The same people who tried to bury the show only ended up amplifying it." I wish some of these people would understand that Netflix does not care if you're hate watching. They also don't care if you take time out of your day to review bomb it. And we see that happening with every single project that Harry and Meghan does. They did it with Spare, and Spare ended up breaking Guinness World Records. This is what they do. Your review bombing and your hate watching is not going to change anything, because it's all about engagement.
I want to talk about With Love Meghan from the aspect of what I do for a living. As it pertains to TV sets, movie sets, lifestyle shows are not expensive to make. The wardrobe typically belongs to the host. Hair and makeup is lightweight. Renting something nearby is not going to break the bank. When you see what Meghan has done, you don't question whether or not she keeps her contract. You ask her, what's next? Where do you want to go? Netflix is being humble about it. They're saying season 2, but Meghan at least has 3 more seasons of this to come, at least. And when I say 3 more seasons, I mean don't be surprised if you see a With Love Meghan season 5. Because what a lot of the haters, and you know what, the haters do know, which is why they're panicking. When you see a return of investment on a lifestyle content show. And let me just say this, lifestyle good feel shows, they do well enough. They're not bad. I don't even consider what Meghan is doing a cooking show, because she's showing you hospitality. She's showing you hosting. She's showing you party planning. So it's not just her in a kitchen showing you how to cook a meal. Shows like that do well in their own genre. Rarely do they jump out into a top 10. Rarely. And hers did. Number 5 in the United States at its peak, number 4 in a few other countries, and top 10 globally. If you are Netflix, you are going cha-ching. And if I were someone who was in charge of all of this, I would be like, Meghan, baby, what do you want? Throw me some ideas. Anything you want, you got it. But understand that by the time Meghan gets to season 3 and 4, that woman's going to be rich beyond her means, and she's going to be able to take this on the road easily. Because that's what it's all about. Everything in life is about a return of investment. And the fact that Meghan was able to take that type of content and put it next to all the stuff that you guys like to watch, like murder mysteries and drama, she was just sitting there like a ray of sunshine. When this lifestyle brand drops, it's going to sell out in minutes. This lady was moving like Creuset on a random Tuesday.
So true. My timeline was full of people showing their pot collection. Not only that, I've been seeing so many people, men, women with their children, trying out the recipes. But we'll get to that later on in the video. This article from Medium I found to be particularly enjoyable as well. It's titled Unstoppable: Why Meghan's Resilience Threatens Her Critics. It goes on to say the most enraging thing about Meghan isn't anything she says or does. It's that she keeps going. Her new Netflix series is gorgeous from a documentary and lifestyle perspective. Visually rich, warm, thoughtful, reflecting someone who sees beauty in small rituals, friendship, and everyday moments that make life meaningful. But this isn't just about the content. Meghan is not simply a public figure. She's a lightning rod. An entire ecosystem of hate has built itself around her, a seed of resentment grown into a full-fledged industry of vitriol. The scrutiny isn't merely excessive. It's algorithmically designed to feed itself, pulling in critics from multiple worldviews, all intersecting in a toxic loop of negativity, racism, classism, and misogyny. Meghan's greatest strength? She won't stop moving forward. I don't know Meghan personally, but I believe she's unfairly dissected, obsessed over, and mistreated by traditional and social media algorithms designed to reward outrage. I see a self-made, resilient woman. She's been thoughtful, ambitious, and creative from a young age. There are countless little videos of her as a young woman, always driven, always industrious, constantly aware of the world around her. This I agree with entirely.
So I'm watching Meghan's show, and I can't stop smiling. This show literally screams calm, peaceful, and happy. And that's why they're mad, okay?
There's a big difference between an opinion and an obsession. And you know what I'm talking about. You all have an opinion on the Duchess's show. Come on, guys. The thing about opinions is opinions aren't usually rooted in hatefulness. And I know you don't think you're being hateful, but you absolutely are. Because the things that you've said online, you would never say those to anybody's face. Some of y'all really think that keyboard is a shield. See, an opinion would be, hey, you know what? It just wasn't for me. Oh, it's not my cup of tea. Oh, I didn't like it. But that's not what you guys are doing. No. Making multiple videos, going in people's comments, giving your unsolicited opinion, the name calling, and the nitpicking. The nitpicking is huge. None of that is opinion. That's obsession and also just plain weird. Like the pretzel thing. So I have a guess I'm just supposed to throw them in an industrial-sized bag of pretzels. I guess I should tell them to bring their own sheets too.
Today's Show did a phenomenal article entitled Black Women Show Off Their Le Creuset to Defend Meghan Markle. We too deserve nice things. A debate over high-quality cookware and an actor turned royal turned Netflix star is stewing on the internet. And I have seen this play out on my timeline, especially on X and TikTok, where you're just seeing an insane amount of women, a lot of Black women, but women in general, showing off their cookware set, doing those recipes, and not just the cookware set, but a lot of other things that they've seen in the show, like in the background. And it's nice to know that I'm not the only one who would pause the show and take note of, oh, what's this little kettle there? What is that? I want that. It's been fun to see that play out on the internet. If you're interested, this is a very, very good article. It's very long, very detailed. So I highly recommend this article. Also goes into the Meghan effect, the fact that so many things are being sold out, and not just here in the US, but in the UK as well. Before I forget, I've even seen a lot of people making those delicious dog biscuits for their furry friends.
I made Meghan Markle's dog biscuit recipe, and now you guys want to see my dog's reaction? Okay. Luna! Who's a good baby? Okay, here we go. Did you even taste it? Is it good? 10 out of 10. Luna recommends.
So cute. And I've seen some questions about where you can find recipes. You go to TUDUM by Netflix, go under With Love Meghan. You'll find a vast majority of the recipes for the show. It's broken down by each episode. It's going to give you the name of the episode, the guest, and the recipes in detail. So I hope that's helpful to you guys who are still looking for those recipes to try out.
I feel like in a few years, y'all are gonna look back and feel really stupid for the Meghan Markle hate campaign. Y'all are gonna be like, duh, I can't believe we fell for another misogynistic hate campaign. They really pulled a fast one on us. Just know, I was never part of that we. That was all you. When I see white women en masse writing think pieces about the fact that Meghan Markle made a rainbow fruit platter, yeah, my misogynoir senses are tingling. She'll show herself making her kids dinner, and you act like she just killed 20 puppies. The way y'all pick apart every little thing she does to a delusional extent to feed this like festering vendetta you have against her, it's worrisome. You're not well. You know what? Maybe a little rainbow fruit platter would help you feel better.
So the Meghan Sussex haters are mad again because her new show just got a release for a second season. And what I don't think that haters realize is that a hater is nothing but a misguided admirer. The reason why people typically hate on someone else is because that person has or is something they'll never have or never be. Some of them are mad at Meghan because a prince chose her and a prince didn't choose them. Why even tune into the show in the first place? You wanted to hate watch that show because you were always looking for a reason to justify unjustifiable hate. Black women don't always have to sing or dance or act or entertain you in some way. We could just be. You watched The Simple Life with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie, and you weren't wondering about, like, what do they do for a living? You just watched the show and were entertained. You watch the Kardashians and every single spinoff that they create, but they don't have to have any specific talent. They don't sing, they don't dance, they don't act. They could just be entertaining. You had no problem watching Martha Stewart when she's in her garden and she's baking cakes and cookies and pies and all of that. No problem at all. But when a black woman does it, you don't like it. You don't want to see her live a life of opulence or luxury or even a life of ease. Because you don't think that's really for black people. Well, then who's it for?
What's better than being a polarizing figure? Think about it. People who love you will watch everything you put out. People who hate you will write about you and give you free publicity. Meghan has received millions of dollars worth of free publicity based on all the haters. They make these headlines that do not reflect the content, the substance of the articles. So, for example, Daily Mail said, Netflix crew reveal how Meghan Markle really treated them behind the scenes of her show. Most of their readers, they don't like Meghan, so they read it looking for salacious gossip. The article goes on to say she treated them well, and she has now received, this would have been worth hundreds of thousands of publicity. What's better than that?
And he's not wrong. There was recently an article from Women's Wear Daily, and it talked about Meghan's Netflix show generating approximately $10 million in media exposure for her upcoming brand as ever. It also goes into detail about a lot of the brands that Meghan has been seen wearing on the show. Now, we know about the Meghan effect. We talked about that earlier in today's video, and we've seen how these things can quickly be sold out. It was a very interesting article. It sort of goes into specifics about media impact and marketing. Very interesting. Check it out.
A lot of people that hate her don't even know why they do, but it's because they have been brainwashed and programmed by the British press. The minute Meghan came in, because she was othered, because she was in the right class, the right skin tone, from the right family, she was the perfect villain for the British press. They knew that they could sell papers with her. She was very charismatic and people naturally gravitated towards her, so they kept writing more and more. They approached her family, her friends, and paid them lots of money to dish. Her father, unfortunately, believed some of the lies he was sold, and he started giving them stories. Her sister started the Meghan Markle is a narcissist storyline. Her brother was put on Big Brother Australia. They put him on this reality show just to dish on Meghan. Piers Morgan went from liking Meghan before she joined the royal family to being her greatest hater, and he had a daily show, so every day the British public were being fed, this woman is awful, she's a threat to everything you hold dear. And as a result of that, people just started hating her. Jeremy Clarkson wrote these awful, disgusting articles saying how she wanted to be, I can't even get into it. And Meghan Markle popped up on the TV and they said, oh, this woman I hate more than anyone in the world. I was like, wait a minute, what did she do? And my husband was like, pipe down. And he was like, well, I mean, she, I don't know, but I think she wanted to be a princess. I'm just like, what? I was in a prayer meeting with another friend of mine, and Meghan Markle came up and she was like, oh, that girl, I really hate her. And I'm like, what did she do? She said, well, she broke royal protocol. I'm like, what protocol? Like, well, she closed the door behind her. So all these people just have been fed this story about this woman being awful, but deep down, they don't know. They keep regurgitating what the British press has told them to. And honestly, it is really sad because all the excuses, all the explanation I hear about why people really hate Meghan Markle, none of it makes sense. Someone said recently in a comment that my discernment tells me that she's a bad person. Well, my discernment tells me that you're but hey, okay, sorry, I'm getting all riled up again. Calm down.
Sometimes it's really hard to remain calm when people are purposely trying to bait you with narratives that they themselves haven't even realized that they've been conditioned to believe, conditioned to hate. It's disheartening.
I came across this post in the photo app from Vogue, and the caption reads, there has been a noticeable shift in Kate Middleton's relationship with clothing, blah, 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 blah. Note, they called her Kate Middleton. Then I came across this comment. She hasn't been called Kate Middleton since before her marriage. We didn't call Princess Di Diana Spencer in the press. Strange, Vogue. Yes, quite strange. Especially since everyone made such a big hoopla out of Meghan correcting her friend Mindy that her last name is now Sussex. Which it is. That is the last name Archie goes by, that is the last name Lilibet goes by, and that is the last name H goes by. But if you want to be technical, royals don't use last names. However, if they had to, Catherine would be Catherine Wales. In the same way, William is William Wales.
The Meghan hate is not just about race. Yes, from the white women who have this absolute desire to tear her apart, it is about race for them. It's about race for a lot of it, but actually, it's about the game, right? Meghan has come in and literally flipped the game over and said, I'm not playing the game, but I'm still going to win. Let me explain. So let's say we're all playing this game called the game of life. And the rule of the game of life is that everybody has to work to live. Now, the people who own the game, they don't have to work to live. In fact, they don't even have to play the game at all. But they are always the winner. Now, underneath them, you have the runners-up. Now, the runners-up can only be people from certain groups. Otherwise, you could never be a runner-up. Now, the majority of people, the vast, vast majority of people are the losers. Not because there's anything wrong with you. That's the rule of the game, is that you have to be a loser. You have to lose in order for the people who own the game to win. Otherwise, the game doesn't exist. So what Meghan does is she's done something that is completely new. And the people who own the game didn't see her coming. They were not prepared for Meghan. What Meghan did is she did what they do. She showed, actually, I'm going to break the rules because I'm not a white woman. I don't come from any wealth. And I'm going to jump over and go right into the winner's line. And they're like, what the hell is going on? So not only has she broken their game, but she's absolutely showed them that it's flawed. It's a flawed game. So now they're angry at her instead of angry at the fact that their game is slowly being dismantled. Now, of course, the race part is that Meghan, as a mixed race woman or biracial woman, would never normally be able to do that. But the person who is part of the winners, which is Prince Harry, he didn't even realise that game was the game himself. Which just goes to show, really, that, look, love can really conquer anything.
7 minutes and 29 seconds into Meghan Markle's new Netflix show, and it is going to anger so many people. And I want you to look at how all the people who insist that black people pull themselves up by the bootstraps, i.e. Actress who married into British royalty who is now building a lifestyle empire, how people lose their minds when black women actually execute and plot and do just that. If you are a woman or even a fabulous black woman who's gone after what she really wants, you probably have a million stories about that switch up. Historically, Americans have no problem with black women working themselves to the bone or being of domestic service or creating things that make their lives easier. These soothing images of the black mammy at work. Literally up to recently, the image, the imagination of black women at work or black women in domestic settings was black women in service. Recently, there was a massive backlash when the modern version of Aunt Jemima was removed from the syrup bottles. People were like, oh, the representation that we are losing. For all my political critiques of the British royal family and monarchy in general, there is going to be an outpouring that you're going to see, that you have seen, of a narrative where Meghan is the villain and Meghan is in the wrong and what she is doing is evil and scheming. This is because Meghan is the opposite of the mammy that we are all comfortable with. The opening volley of this show is Meghan talking to her staff, about her own bees with her own beekeeper. This is her business. This is her house she rented for her lifestyle empire. This is her world, and she is not in hard labor or service for some other family. She is freely reveling and working and talking to the viewers in the wealth that for generations through American policy and legislation was reserved for white upper society. Disclaimer, obviously, wealth does not save you. Wealth does not change a colonial capitalistic system right from the inside out. It cannot do that. So if you think we've solved America's problem and their lack of comfort with black women living lives of ease and comfort, I would suggest you pop that nice dried cob that Meghan shows us how to do in the little paper bag, and you sit back and you watch what unfolds as each of these episodes drop.
I've really been enjoying a lot of the conversations surrounding Meghan's show, and not just those that are concerned with the fashion and the food and the hospitality aspect of Meghan's show, but the conversations that go so far beyond the surface level.
Has anyone watched the Netflix show With Love, Meghan, the series about Meghan Markle in her home? When I say I'm obsessed, like I am obsessed. It has totally changed my perspective of her. I love her whole aesthetic, her whole vibe, everything she's making, bougie on a budget. I say budget. Her budget's different to my budget. But I'm literally obsessed. I'm literally away to the shop now to go buy some Creuset, get some new wooden serving boards, grow my own edible flowers, and rest assured, if you're coming to my house, you're getting flowers in your ice cube. But yeah, I'm honestly obsessed. Has anyone else watched it and has the same opinion? Because honestly, obsessed.
I've decided that a new way I can figure out whether or not we will be friends, whether or not we're compatible as friends, is your feelings on Meghan Markle. If you have negative feelings regarding Meghan Markle, we cannot be friends. If you don't have any feelings towards Meghan Markle, we can probably be friends. If you have positive feelings towards Meghan Markle, we could also probably be friends. But if you have negative feelings towards her, yeah, let's keep it pushing.
Okay, so I've been watching the series on Netflix about Meghan Markle and her cooking and her homemaking, all that cute stuff. And oh my goodness, I have so much to say. First of all, I love it. I'm obsessed. The people that are being featured on it, so cool. I'm only on episode 2, but I'm still like, give me 10 seasons, please. I'm begging. Also, it really got me thinking about the amount of hate that this woman receives, because people are obsessed with her. Obsessed, understandably, because she's amazing, and there's so much jealousy towards somebody that a lot of people are literally never going to interact with. And I think it makes a lot of people really mad to have like put so much time and effort into hating somebody only for them to turn around and have a series on Netflix talking about their life, talking about my husband, my children. I'll be mad too, because you've actually invested so much time and energy into someone, and it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. It's so fascinating, but kudos to her. I love this show so much, and I need more shows of this kind of style. And I think she's also hilarious, like just really funny. Out of nowhere, I didn't expect her to be like very chill and very funny. But I would recommend it if you like very like relaxing cooking shows, and also I think it's the perfect time to be watching it because it's spring. But yeah.
Real talk, if you're one of the far too many white women who's made videos about Meghan Markle and how she wants too much attention, blah, 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 you sound like a man. You sound like a man who says Kamala just wasn't qualified enough. That is exactly what you sound like. And we all know that if it was Emma Stone doing it or Jennifer Lawrence doing it, you would be eating that up. You would be calling it quirky and cute. Just hold it in. Inside thoughts are a thing for a reason.
So last night I was watching With Love Meghan, and it got me to thinking, like, what if she was to do a Christmas special? She could even call it like With Love Meghan Christmas edition, Christmas special, whatever, you know, like how awesome would that be to see her put together like food, crafts, whatever it is that are for Christmas. Hell, she could even do a combined one and do New Year's too, like how to plan your perfect New Year's party, kind of like the birthday party episode. And then my imagination started spiraling, and I was like, sis, you know, if you want, you could do Thanksgiving and Halloween too while you're at it. Seriously though, don't you guys think that'd be such a great idea to have like some type of holiday Christmas special? Like something that's the complete opposite of what she's doing right now. Like right now, like with season 1, it's giving spring, summer, it's bright, colorful, there's florals, you know, it's giving those vibes. It'd be amazing to see like the complete opposite of that, where it's like Christmas, warm, cozy vibes, fireplace going. Maybe she's making some homemade hot cocoa, like, you know, all kinds of stuff. I can totally see that. I think that'd be a really good. I am starving for more Love with Meghan, and I haven't even finished season 1 yet, and I'm so ready for season 2. And honestly, with everything that's going on in our country right now, this is such a great, I don't know, distraction. I find it, like I said, another video therapeutic. It's calming. We need more Meghan. So yeah, let's make it happen, Netflix and Meghan.
So I've been watching the Meghan Markle show on Netflix, and I'm like completely obsessed with this woman. She is so lovely. The sound of her voice is so calming. I love that she makes balloon arches for her kids. She's amazing. You should check it out.
I finished watching Meghan Markle's documentary, and here is my review. First of all, I really loved how she treated the cast. She gave them food, and she was speaking to them, and they were almost part of the show, so I found that really cool. I really loved that. I learned so many tips and tricks that I had never heard before. The calligraphy, I loved the fashion. I really love her style. And also you could really tell her love for California, for the gardens, the fruits, the vegetables, the hiking. It was almost like a love letter to California, and I live in California. I love California so much, so I really loved that about it. I really loved the fact that her dog, she would always pay attention to her dog, and her dog would almost set the mood. So, you know, if he was falling asleep, it was a peaceful day. I kind of liked the bond that she had with her dog throughout the entire documentary. I mean, it's not a documentary, it's a show, but she also explained that her dog has been with her for the past 13 or 14 years, so when she was filming Suits, etc. And I just thought that it was very beautiful. And so the show is really about how to elevate very simple things of your day-to-day life. And if I had to sum it up, or sum up Meghan in one word throughout this documentary is detail. Really the attention to detail that she has, from the calligraphy to every little detail. I really loved that. It was very informative. And to finish, it's really a comfort show. So it's a show that I was watching on Saturday, and then, you know, I stood up and I made myself a cute cup of tea. You know, I created my own iced tea that I just got inspired. So it's a show where you just want to be at home, watch beautiful imagery and get inspired. It's the comfort show, the ultimate comfort show that is really a comfort show and not what we think are comfort shows.
I agree. With Love Meghan is very much a comfort show.
Meghan McCain's obsession with Meghan Markle should be studied.
Excuse me. And just the coughing? Did you see the coughing? It was just like, you're so fake, okay? You're fake. I'm not a hater. I'm not, like, okay, she's like beautiful and like smart and like, I'm not any of those things. I'm not hating. Okay, it's just like not relatable. I know that she's a princess. Okay, but like, we don't like her. It's not because she's black. It's not. I swear.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.